Welcome back at 7:45. We've had a staggering amount of people killed on our Valley roads so far this year. Joining us now for Behind the Badge with what Metro is doing to try and save lives, our Officer Laura Villicana, along with Traffic Lieutenant Daryl Rhodes. Thank you both so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us here. We're glad to be here and to speak to our community about this issue that's really been a great concern to our community and to us as a department. The number of traffic fatalities that we've had so far this year. So I'm really glad that Lieutenant Rhodes was able to join us. So to speak of some of the initiatives that our department has started, but I really do want to remind our community that traffic safety truly is everyone's responsibility, not just us as a police agency, but as a community, if we're going to be out on our roadways to be safe drivers.
Right. And that's the thing. You can, we were just talking about this, you can speak all you want and send the message all you want, but really it's up to drivers, pedestrians, and cyclists, us as individuals, to make the change. So let's start things off, Lieutenant, with how many fatalities we've seen this year compared to last year.
Right now we're up to 45 fatalities. We're 67% ahead of where we were at last year. And the numbers are terrible. But it doesn't mean that we can't change as a community. It doesn't mean that we can't change and get out there and change our own individual behaviors when we're driving. I think that's the important part. We can go out there and do enforcement. We can go out there and do everything that we can as a police department to remind people to drive safe by issuing citations, by doing enforcement there. But until the individual changes their own driving behavior, I think we're going to continue to see this pattern.
And this pattern is frightening, because we may be on pace for the worst year ever when it comes to deadly roads. Isn't that right?
Yeah, and that's the worst thing that we want to hear as a community, because we're not just talking about numbers, we're talking about lives.
Yeah.
People's lives that are taken from our community, from friends, from family. And so we don't want that. We've got to change the way that we're doing things. Otherwise, yeah, we're going to see one of the deadliest years that we've had on record.
Which is just so awful. You know, every single day, you know, our own Ken Smith is reporting on another deadly crash, and these are preventable. So go ahead and talk to the drivers, to the cyclists, to the pedestrians on an individual level. What would you try to say to someone to get them to understand that this could be you, this could be somebody that you love if you don't change your habits? Right.
Whenever we go out on a fatal scene, we're not dealing with people that are doing something wrong. They haven't put themselves in a bad position. You know, they're not doing bad behavior like we see with violent crime and other things like that where life is taken. These are innocent people. Just recently we had somebody that works at a bar driving home. He's at a stop sign and somebody hits him at 127 miles an hour and takes his life, takes it from his family, from his friends, from the community. And now that person that hit him has to live with that, taking that person's life, and his family has to deal with that, most likely going to prison, you know, for a period of time. And so these are innocent people that are out there on our roadways, but they're doing things that are outside of their ability to drive and putting everybody in danger, whether it's pedestrians, whether it's other drivers. And so we have to change the way that we're driving. There are speed limits for a reason. Don't go too fast. Don't be in a hurry. If you think about the logistics of being able to stop on time, if you're going 80 miles an hour, it'll take you about 110 feet to even react to the hazard that's in the roadway, and then another almost a football field and a half to be able to avoid that
once you hit the brakes.
That hazard. Correct.
Okay, yeah, obviously there's a lot that we need to do as drivers, as pedestrians, as cyclists, you know, because innocent lives are taken, and sometimes you're just not paying enough attention, and you don't want to have to live with that result. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We really hope that the community starts to listen and that we can curb this trend. Thank you both.
Thanks for having us, Alyssa.
Yeah. All right, and if you have a question for Metro, send us an email to behindthebadge@fox5vegas.com.